Welcome to Nameless Debate Radio, where radioactivity is contagious.
I know, right? Alright, come on, David. Let's hear it.
Well, I mean, this isn't going to be like a real advanced argument.
Don't say that.
So-
Come on.
I'm sorry. It's that I'm not going to make an any advanced arguments. I'm just
But you're my advanced argument.
You're beautiful. Go.
it's gonna be silly. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe this isn't such a good idea because I don't even believe in free will.
Is wrong, and then guess what? Like, you can change. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Right, but I don't even believe in free will.
Little memer. You're just wasting my time.
Okay. So if free will doesn't exist, then how do we even make decisions? Like, how do we even go about having a process of making decisions?
Well, you're a computer.
Wait, how do you know that?
It seems to be true.
It seems to be true. Okay, so if it seems to be true that the sky, okay, that's probably a bad example. If it seems to be true that
they're not comparable at like whatsoever.
Okay, so
If it seems to be true,
if it seems to be true, does that mean it's actually true?
not necessarily.
Okay, so you were arguing from a position of it seems to be true. Can you justify? Okay, so
Of course.
why does it seem to be
What the fuck do
true?
you
The justification is that everything seems to point to that's how people function, like in neuroscience and psychology, etc.
Okay, so but if we had proof that free will did exist, then how would you reconsider your position?
I would reconsider it. Simple as that.
Okay,
Do you have any?
but how do you
proof?
think? No, but
Okay.
like how do you know anything?
Well, what do you mean by no?
Like, how do you even go about attaining knowledge and values?
Where knowledge is like understanding.
Yeah.
I look at the world, and then I look at the way that other people are thinking about the world, and then I look at the way I'm thinking about the world, and I try to make those things match up.
Oh, okay. So, your argument is basically one that comes from empiricism.
No, I mean there was like a rationalist component, an empirical component, and an intersubjective component.
Oh, what is the rationalist component of your argument?
That would be like my logical analysis of the argument itself.
Logical analysis. But what's the logical analysis?
It's where you break it down into the pieces and analyze how they work.
No, I know what it is, but what is the logical argument for determinism?
Okay, so like all problems are composed of variables and rules. Do you agree?
Not necessarily, no. Because
Okay. Just because you don't know them doesn't mean that they're not, alright? All things that you can imagine are governed by variables and rules. Do you agree?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it depends on what you mean by rules. Like, what do
Can
you
you
mean by
think of a
rules?
counterexample? I mean like principles which govern the thing.
Principles which govern the thing. I
Yes.
still don't know what you mean by that.
So like it has a structure of some kind, and like that structure like denotes conditions or characteristics that it has. Yeah, those are the rules.
Okay.
So do you know what the laws of physics are?
Yeah, I know what the laws of physics are.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
you know
believe they
that
always
physics
hold
doesn't.
true.
No,
They're
but
not
I mean that's your
constant.
opinion. Listen.
What?
Like we look around, right, and we see like physics. You don't see the laws, do you?
No.
But things aren't randomly changing. Isn't that accurate?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part, have you ever seen something randomly change?
I mean, I know that there's such a thing as genetic mutation.
That's not random though.
How is that not random?
Just because you can't calculate how it's occurring doesn't mean that it's random, dude.
Okay, but we also know that the laws of physics aren't constant. Like, we
Says
know
who?
that occasionally the speed of
No,
light
we don't.
changes. Yeah,
No.
it was-
No, we have miscalculated it. That's what you're talking about.
okay. But what about like particles disappearing and reappearing? You know, in other
Yeah,
parts of the universe.
That is according to quantum physical law.
Quantum physical law.
Yeah?
What is that? What?
Like, I
But we don't-
assume you're talking about quantum tunneling.
But we don't even know how quantum physics even works.
We know quite a bit about how it works. We just don't know how to justify how it works. We actually do know a lot about it, man. We just don't know how to explain it.
Quantum tunneling. What is that?
It's what you described. It's where like a particle like disappears and reappears somewhere else in the universe because
Yes.
its path was like a tunnel. I don't know. I can't describe to you the exact mechanism, but like it's basically the phenomena that you described, dude. And like we have a name for it. We know that it happens, and like we've been able to predict how it works to a limited degree.
No, but
Like we just don't understand how it works overall.
well, isn't that just kind of a hypothetical framing of what's going on? Do they can't actually prove this, right? They're making theories about it. But
Wait. No,
it's not observed.
No. Stop. It is observed. We have observed many complex quantum phenomena. Look it up. Like, not only have we observed many complex quantum phenomena, but there are several quantum models that have been able to explain complex quantum phenomena.
Oh, but there's still things that like scientists just don't understand yet.
I don't understand the relevance of that point.
Well, because if we can't prove that it's like deterministic, then
Like,
maybe
this
it's
is
not
similar to a
deterministic.
God of the gaps argument.
Of course, maybe it is not deterministic, but it sure as fuck looks deterministic.
Yep. Basically where
What?
we're at, like in terms of like people that study this, like where they lean toward.
Okay, let's think of another question. How like we're determined by our values, right?
We're determined by all sorts of things, but our values are some of them, yeah.
And our
Okay.
values are also determined.
Yep.
What are those values determined by?
Our biology, psychology, neurology, all the things that make you up, mate.
We could just simplify to say the environment, right?
Yep. Insofar as you are just a figment of the environment, yep.
Well, how do we even get here in the first place? Like, if there's no
That's an
free
irrelevant
will,
question.
then
That
there'd
is
be
an
no
irrelevant
potential.
question. No,
it isn't
No,
irrelevant.
I don't accept that. It is irrelevant. There is no reason to suspect free will was required for existence. Okay, that's a supposition.
What? But if there's no free will, then nothing would exist. Because
No, I don't accept that. Listen. That is a supposition.
Like
Well, can you
trees.
provide me an alternative?
I mean, we don't
Yes,
think of trees having
things
free
exist 'cause
will,
they
and
have to.
trees exist. Yeah.
Wait, how do you know that?
It's logically deductive. I've told you this before.
Logically deductive from what?
Logically deductive from the things, like the nature of the things that we can observe.
The nature of the things that we can observe.
Correct?
Mate, I'll
But
make
that
it
just
really
goes all the way
simple.
back to empiricism.
So, okay,
No.
so we are forced to like look at the stuff around us, and we can deduce from the stuff that we are forced to look at that, like, hey, it seems this way or it seems that way, and through that we can build a process to come to the conclusions that, like, oh, hey, look, it seems like other people exist. Oh, hey, it looks like I exist. Oh, cool, the world around me exists. Basically that.
Dark Master.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you made an assertion. Okay.
Which was the
You made an
assertion, dude?
that the universe could exist without free will. You didn't provide
You made the
justification.
assertion. Listen, dude. You made the assertion that it couldn't. The only justified stance for you is agnosticism, since you do not have any evidence or any sound reasoning to justify your position. I, on the other hand, do have sound reasoning to justify my claim that things exist because they have to, because I have looked into it.
And it's not even like we're saying this with like absolute certainty. We're just saying that it really super duper strongly looks this way.
Yep.
Why? Because the laws of logic?
No, because fucking have a look at it.
There's so many things in the universe we just don't understand.
That's relevant. Things look like their existence is necessary. Here they are.
Okay. Things look like their existence is what? Necessary.
Necessary. Yes.
What? How
How?
does that?
How? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Because of the composition. Because they are made up of information. And because information, when it is uninterpreted, is data, and data is something which is non-contingent. By definition.
I don't even know. Like, you're just making assertions, I think.
I'm not making assertions. I just said by definition. That's not an assertion.
Like, what
Do you know by
data is not
do you
contingent?
know what? Yes, that's correct. Do you know what by definition means?
Yeah, I know what it means.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you take what data means, okay, and then you like do a proof by contradiction where you try to imagine if it could be false, you will find that it being false produces a contradiction, and that it cannot be false, making it non-contingent or necessarily true.
Okay. Okay, so.
Man, that freedom of yours isn't getting you any closer to good arguments, eh?
What?
Nothing. Is that the end of your attempt to justify free will, my dude?
I don't know. Probably.
Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and join us in the Nameless Debates Discord. We hope to see you there.